want to be happy or do you want to be right? The ego is going to choose to be right because it sees life through the lens of duality of right and wrong. Right and wrong equates and symbolizes the axis of innocent and guilt. So when we see someone as wrong, mistaken, or erroneous, we don't see forgiveness, we don't see solution, we see guilt. So we have to punitively penalize people through all semantics and technicalities. Oh, this evidence here, this proof, this measurable metric, and you did this on this date, and this fact check, etc. Because we want to use all these thinking and these words and these concepts to prove that we are right, therefore we are innocent, because that's what we're fighting for, not actually to be fact checked or to be right and wrong. We're fighting so then we're not the guilty party, someone else is, because again, the ego believes in duality. So if someone's innocent, then someone must be wrong. And that's actually the whole game of that's all like football games, by the way. Winning and losing is innocent and guilt, and that's the same dichotomy people play into. And we do the same thing online, political, red and blue. Everyone, the duality of divisiveness to punitively penalize people is kept alive in infinite form. So when you feel the need in real time that you're trying to prove someone wrong, you're trying to prove yourself innocent by making them guilty. But you can't be innocent on account of someone else's guilt. You have guilt and you're trying to throw it. Otherwise, if you didn't have guilt, you wouldn't see it. You would see someone else as just mistaken and you would forgive them because you learned to forgive yourself for your mistakes, and that renders you in peace and contentment. And in that peace and contentment, do you attract more love? Because peace, contentment, forgiveness, and gratitude are forms of love. So when we choose that above all else, then we have that. If you're wanting to choose to guilt someone and to go to the battle of trying to fight for your innocence, then you actually believe you're guilty, which is why you feel the need to be defensive and fight for something. You already have innocence, but in your own mind, you don't realize that. You feel guilty from some kind of life circumstances in probably childhood, so it comes out in many ways, and one of them is being in conflict with someone, trying to be right. And you want to also look at this differently too, in the sense that you're in the whole ego of trying to be right, you're in conception. You conceptually think if this person's wrong, I'm somehow going to alleviate myself and be innocent. When in reality, in that current state of being, you are already upset. You are not happy. You are not in the feeling of innocence or peace. So you're sort of using the ego to focus more on the conception and thought and thinking than actually being present and authentic with how you're actually feeling. So you care more about word salad and made up matter of factness, made up conceptions and made up intellectualization than actually being present and honest and saying, I don't feel good. So why am I as a creator, whether I'm consciously or unconsciously choosing this? It doesn't matter. I'm choosing this. And so why do I want to choose something to be right if I end up being upset? Isn't the whole point of being right? What's the point? And so we want to look at ourselves through logic and rationale to be able to forgive and have peace and contentment.